Hey yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Encrypted, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having yourselves an amazing day, and in today's video, we are going to be continuing episode 2 of the Mastering Minecraft Bedrock Edition series we have on this channel. If you guys didn't see part 1, you can actually click a little card up at the top right of the screen. It should be up there right now, which is going to take you to part 1 of this series. If you want to see what it was basically, I went over the redstone basics of, Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Actually, I guess Minecraft in general, the redstone basics, but that was the first episode. This episode, however, is going to be all about building, and just like that one, I'm just going to be going over the basics of it. Yes, I know it's another basics video. I apologize, guys. I promise at some point we will be getting into the juicy stuff, into the fun things, and the builds, and all kinds of things like that. But to do that, we do got to go over the basics first, because we can't jump into something if we don't know the basics. But anyways, yeah, so this is going to be the building basics video. I'm just going to be going over the basic things that I know, that whenever I go to build things, or when I see other people build things, these are just the things that I automatically think of, or that I'm sure they think of, and that you kind of see whenever they build, or whenever the build is done. You kind of can tell that these are the things that they thought of, and that's what this video is just going to be talking about. Just the pure basics. And also a quick disclaimer, just so you know right now, everything that's going to come out of my mouth in this episode is all just my own thoughts. These are not things I've looked up on Google. These are not things I've looked up from tutorials. I didn't ask anyone about this stuff. These are just things that I personally think about when I go to build, or when I work with redstone, or when I see the game. These are just things that I know and that I think of, and that I think have worked for me in the past, and that I think will work for you guys. So if you don't like any of these things I'm saying, if they just start clicking with you, or you're like, no, that's just not right, please don't get too upset. This isn't the Bible, like what I say basically is not set in stone, is what I'm trying to say. So just, take it lightly, take it with what you will. But anyways, with that being said, guys, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video nonetheless, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos I put up of this series. Like I said, we are going to be getting into the juicy stuff, hopefully very soon. We only have a few more basic videos to cover, and yeah, then we'll get into the actual helpful things and the things you want to see, so hopefully we get into that quickly. And guys, if you do enjoy this series, be sure to leave a like on these videos, and also let me know in the comments if you guys have any suggestions on things you want me to do or cover in the future. I've seen a lot of comments already that you guys, are telling me different redstone things I can do, and I love it. Like, seriously, all these ideas, you guys are picking the perfect stuff for me. Like, these things aren't too complicated, but they're also not, like, super simple, and they're things that need to be done, and I'm glad that you guys are recommending me to do these things. I promise, we're going to be trying to do them at some point soon, so hold in there. Hold in there. God, I meant to say hang in there. Anyways, guys, sorry about that. A little flustered. First video of the day. Bear with me. But one last thing to say, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We are well on our way to 500 subscribers, guys. We're so close. We're like 462 right now. It's just crazy. You guys are insane. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Guys, I hope you're here for the ride, long haul, whatever you want to call it. I hope you guys are here to stay, because I'm telling you, man, we got all kinds of new content coming out on the channel, new series, new videos, new let's plays. In fact, even tomorrow I have a video that's going to pertain to all of you guys on a new series that I started about a week ago. You guys are going to see it tomorrow. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be pretty nice. So yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy this channel, and hopefully you enjoy the video. With that being said, I think it's time we get into this. Now, guys, we can finally get into this video. As I've said for like 10 times now, this is a building basics video. We're just going to be talking about the basics of building in Minecraft. And when I say building, by the way, I should clarify this now. I mean like building houses or mansions, or, like your own like houses, things like that. Like, I mean like those kind of builds. I don't necessarily mean redstone builds or, anything like that. I just mean like regular builds, like of nice houses or nice mansions, nice giant structures like that. That's what I'm talking about when I say builds. So I was trying to think of like the first main thing I think of whenever I go to build things in Minecraft, or whenever I see someone else build something. I tried to think of like the first main thing that comes to mind, or that I think comes to their mind. And I really couldn't think of anything in particular, but I did think of 3 main things that they never ever go for whenever they're building, and things that I never go for when I'm building. And these 3 things are simple, cheap, and linear. Those are the 3 main things that I never go for when I build in Minecraft. I used to go for those things when I built in Minecraft, but no more. Now, let me explain individually what I mean by each of these three things. The first thing I said was cheap. And the reason I don't go for like cheap things is because whenever you go for cheap builds, basically we're talking like you're just going to be using like one kind of block, like one piece of wood, just oak wood and that's it. Or, just like, I don't know, like cobblestone or netherrack or things like that, dirt, sand if you're crazy enough. Just poking a few holes out of the side of this house or something instead of using glass. Things like that. That's like cheap builds in my opinion. That's whenever you take cheap items and you build out of them, but they're just too cheap and they don't really have much variety to them and they're not that hard to obtain. That's what I mean when I say cheap. I try not to go for only cheap builds. Now, don't get me wrong, cheap is definitely a good thing and it can be done perfectly in some scenarios, but like I said before, when it comes to like cheap, like the builds I'm thinking of when I say it is literally just like one kind of block, like only one piece of wood, just a few pieces of cobblestone, some netherrack. Like that's what I mean when I say cheap. Now the second thing I said was simple. Usually I don't go for simple builds. I like to keep them kind of complicated in a way, not even necessarily complicated, but it's kind of hard to have a build that's not simple and not complicated at the same time. So normally I go for complicated rather than simple, and the reason for this is because yes, it is going to be harder to make a complicated build, but it's going to look so much better in my opinion, because you can individually see every piece of this build and you can see just how complicated it is rather than, being simple, just making lines or making a square box, and like I said before, just poking out holes on the side of it and putting in glass or, things like that. Like that's simple, you're not really thinking much. You're not being very creative or unique. You're kind of just going with it. And that leads us into our third thing that you should steer away from, which is linear. You don't want to go for a linear design. Like linear, for those who don't know, that basically means you're just kind of going in a straight line. You're not having any variety in it. It's just the same build on both sides. Like if you were to cut it in half, it would be the same on the left side as it would be on the right side. And that's kind of not what you want. Again, symmetrical is a different thing though. It can work in some builds, but when it comes to being linear, you don't want to be just doing the same thing on the whole build. Again, it comes back to the square box thing. That's kind of linear. It's the same side, the same size, the same length, the same shape. The whole build is just a box. Whenever you're building linear, you can kind of tell that there wasn't a whole lot of thought going into it, Now, if you do build like that, don't be ashamed. Seriously, that's totally fine. Like I said, in some cases, these things can work, but the way I described it is exactly what I mean. Like the individual examples I used, that's what I mean whenever I say, like, those are the kind of builds I try to steer away from, because I feel like they just don't look as good. I feel like they can be so much better, and that's the first thing you think of whenever you see these kinds of builds. You're like, oh wow, I mean, yeah, it's nice, but it could be so much better. And that's kind of the goal of this whole series. We're trying to improve the builds, trying to get to points where you don't even need to look up tutorials to build mansions or to build giant tree houses or forts. Like, we're trying to get to that point with this series. So seriously, don't be offended if I said something that you've taken before, because you're looking at the king of this stuff. Like, I used to do this stuff all the time. When I first got this game, that was all I would build. I would build dirt shacks. I would build only oak shacks, and I think I'd look at them and I'd be like, why does this look horrible? Like, what did I do wrong? And it's like, now I get it. Like, I didn't really put much variety in it. I used one kind of block for the most part, and it shows. It doesn't look that good whenever you do it like that. So this series is meant to help you improve those. Now, like I said before, this video is mainly covering the basics of building, and those three things, in my opinion, are the main basics of building. Building's a complicated thing. It's not easy. Like I said before, it's not meant to be easy. It's anything but that. And truth be told, these basics are the main things you need to know whenever you go to build something, because like I said, the idea is to not be linear. With too many basics, it kind of becomes linear, and that's just not what it's about. Building in Minecraft's about creativity. The people that are unique and creative and can think of their own special designs are the ones who will shine in this kind of department better than anyone, and it really does show. Now, even though I said that there aren't that many basics, in my opinion, to my building designs in this game, I will try to throw one more thing at you, and that is something that I noticed. It's how to be unique. Being unique when it comes to building is, using different blocks that you don't always see all the time. Things, even if it's harder, like even if you're going out of your way immensely to get these blocks, like you should do it. Like if you think your build's gonna look better with brick blocks, you know, go out and get the clay, smelt the clay with a furnace, make bricks, and then make the brick blocks. Yeah, it's probably going to take you all day to get that many resources, maybe a whole week, but it's going to look better in the end. And don't just use brick either. Use, you know, stone brick. Use stone blocks. Use, like, different oak woods. Use, like, stone, yeah, not stone. Use, like, oak wood. Use birch wood planks. Mix them together. Maybe use oak logs as, like, the trim. You know, things like that. Put oak fences on your, like, roof balcony. Maybe make stairs out of birch wood and mix them with oak birch. Not oak birch, I'm sorry, I'm just all over the place. Use different kinds of stairs for the roof. Use slabs for the roof. Use slabs for the stairs. Use stairs for the stairs. Use, just like, go crazy with it. Like, think in your head, like, would this look good? Test it out. Use it. See if it looks good. Use different blocks is what I'm trying to say. Use different blocks, different pieces of equipment, different materials, different things like that to make these builds just a little more unique than they were before. And on top of that, make sure whenever you're building, try to make sure that the build is kind of efficient in its own way. You know, anyone can make a build look really nice in the end, but on the inside is also what matters. The inside isn't the only thing that matters, neither are the looks. They both are very important. There goes my Snapchat, I apologize. But yeah, both things are very important when it comes to building. You need to have a good, efficient design and still have a really nice look to it. And again, these things, I know I'm making it sound like way easier than it is. I promise that's not the point of this video. I'm just trying to say, like, at some point, you'll get to this point. You know, you will, and I will too. We'll all get there. Eventually, we'll get to the point where we can just kind of make our own builds and make them look really nice and know exactly what kind of blocks we need to use. When it comes to being efficient with your design, I mean mainly, like, make sure that your build has a good purpose, you know, like, has a purpose that will help you. Maybe make, like, if you're building a giant house, for example, and we'll probably do this at some point, but, like, when I try to build my houses, like, I try to have, like, an enchanting room there, a basement with, like, maybe a nether portal there, like a mine shaft that I create down, you know, at the basement as well. I'll have, like, a storage unit. I don't know if I already said that. I'll have multiple different rooms. I'll have maybe, like, a pet room or a guest room. I'll have different things like that. And that's what I mean whenever I say, like, make it efficient. Give yourself things to work with this build on the inside once it's done. You know, give it its purpose that it needs. But anyways, guys, I am pretty much done with talking at this point. I think I've rambled on enough. Again, I really hope I didn't rub any of you the wrong way with this, you know, video. I know it's kind of a touchy subject. No one likes being critiqued on their builds. I hate it. It sucks, like, you know, spending all day building something that you were really proud of and then having someone just dump all over it, you know, like, oh, no, this doesn't look good. This part, you know, you should have done this. You should have added more depth here. You should have used this block here. Like, I hate that. But at the same time, I like it because it does help you in the end kind of think, well, maybe they have a point. And to be fair, it does look better that way. So maybe they were right. And, you know, it just, I think this video, if anything, I want it to help you more than hurt you. I don't want it to hurt anyone. Like I said before, don't let it rub you the wrong way. If you've done any of these things in the past, I do them even more than you. I'm betting right now, I do them even more than you. I mean, seriously, like, I'm not even trying to be funny right now. Like, I do these things more than anyone. But like I said, the point of this series is to improve us all at this building game, because it's not easy, but I think we can get there. And again, like I said, it was just the basics, my basics. Not like anyone else's. Like I said, I didn't Google this, didn't look this up online, didn't ask anyone for help with this. This is just my own, you know, basis opinion. This is just what I think when it comes to building. These are the things I think of, and these are the things that have helped me do better when it comes to building. Because I have improved over the past, I've gotten a little better, and these are the things I've used to help me with that. So hopefully they help you as well. And don't worry, we're going to get into this at some point soon. We're going to start doing bigger builds on this, you know, series. We're going to build our own mansions and houses. I'll probably live stream that at some point so you guys can see, like, in depth how I'm doing it. And I'll make videos on it as well plenty of times. So don't worry, you're going to be able to see these things in action plenty of times. But I hope I did a good enough job explaining what I meant when I was saying all these things. But regardless of that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope it does help you out for now until we can get in depth with this stuff even more. I hope you guys do enjoy it, and like I said before, if you do enjoy it, please leave a like, and also let me know in the comments below. Give me some ideas on things to build, because, like, you know, creativity is a big part of it, and I'm not the most creative person in the world. Hopefully I can improve that, I hope. But I know you guys are pretty creative. You come up with some great ideas. So if there's something you've wanted to see someone build in the past, like a specific build, maybe a treehouse or a fort or a stronghold, let me know, and we'll do it at some point on this series, I promise. We'll try to do all these things. So let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking in your heads. And last but not least, guys, make sure you subscribe if you are new. Like I said, we are almost to 400. Guys, I just can't believe it. Seriously, you guys are the freaking best. You rock. I want to keep making good content for you guys, and I want this channel to be something that you guys can always come to at some point in the future and learn anything you can about Bedrock Edition, or just enjoy watching me play it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this series, and yeah, I think that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace!